Hi everyone, this is Robyn from ROGTK. Today, Rachel and I are going to go over a bunch of stuff about testimonials. So I am going to talk about basically how I go about testimonials, and then Rachel will pick up and talk about Rate My Agent. And then at the end of the meeting, we're going to talk a teeny bit about some of the changes with Sync, which is now one suite. So to get started, just some quick stats. So I read that a 2019 Zillow review survey said that 52% of sellers consider your ratings as one of the most impactful factors as to why they pick you as their listing agent. I think with buyers, reviews probably matter a little bit less because they don't really know what they're getting into. Sellers know, and sellers want to make sure that you're vetted and that you've got experience, and reviews are a fantastic way to show that in a candid way. So the sort of procedure that I recommend is you kind of prime your client that you're going to be asking for them to review you as if it's part of the process when it comes to closing. So before closing, there's going to be a lot going on. But after you've gotten, past the inspection and appraisal, on your way to closing, there's just like all this dead time where your client doesn't have a ton to do. That is a really good time to reminisce about your time together and let them know, closing's coming up. We're going to have you sign everything. I'll send you a review email. I'll order the sign down, take the super off your house, etc. That way they've already sort of put it aside in their mind as a task to complete rather than you kind of pushing it on them just at the end. I think that trying to send the review email immediately after closing is the best way to go about it. And it's best to have a couple different options. So let me share my screen with you guys. So forgive my messy screen. But in my Google Drive, I love templates. I don't like rewriting the same thing over and over again. So I have a template in here for my review, and I can totally send this to you guys as well. It's just a document that I drop into an email that's already got all the hyperlinks and everything I need in it. However, I will say, this one is one that I shared with Wilson. So Wilson can go in here and edit it however he pleases. Because if you read this email, it just doesn't really read like Wilson. I just can't say it enough. Thank you for your business and trust in me. It was a pleasure working with you, and I'm so pleased with the results of this transaction. That kind of sounds like me. So if I was Wilson, I would go in here and revise this. But in here, I talk about the importance of testimonials. If you want to really lean into how important this is before closing, I would sort of joke with your client, you go to Starbucks and you buy a drink and you write them a review. 5 minutes of their time. That's it. And when you're helping someone buy or sell a house, you are putting in, weeks, if not months worth of effort to help them. And you still only get one single review out of that. So sort of pressing on them that reviews are really hard to come by, I think can help them prioritize it in their mind as something that's really important to you. In here, I've also got where I sort of, when I was talking about reminiscing, this is where I bring up stuff about the transaction, like keywords that I really like to hit on. So how I was great at communicating, super responsive, how they were a first-time home buyer, etc. And then I've also got a section in here that discusses, I think this is kind of a generational difference. So in sort of millennials, we have worked service jobs where online ratings have mattered a lot. And so, for example, if you work at Starbucks and someone gets to review you, if they give you 4 stars, it counts as 0 stars, 5 stars or nothing. That's all that matters. And so that's kind of how algorithms feel too. It's not quite like GPA where it's a good average, less than a 5-star review, you will not get the visibility that you would if you did have the 5 stars. So in here, I talk about why, even though, maybe it was just a really good transaction, anything 4 out of 5 stars sounds like an A plus. Into the algorithms, that's not an A plus, that's an F. So explaining to people that 5 is really what matters can help. And then Rachel's going to talk about how Rate My Agent can pull your reviews from anywhere. I'm going to be honest. So I use OMG National. They do my search engine optimization. They give me Google leads. They work on verifying my Google business, etc. So I already kind of have a program similar to Rate My Agent. So I don't actually employ them to do this stuff for me. And so I just have my reviews prioritized in here based on the order that I prefer. So I've got Google review first. This is because, like I said, I'm trying to funnel like all of my focus in my business to my Google business profile for OMG National. If you do not have a Google business page, let Rachel and I know. We can get one set up for you, get it registered, get it verified, etc. So I've got a link in here so people can review me. I've got a Zillow review in here as well. So a lot of people really like Zillow because, you know, on Google, for example, my job is listed as agent and also director of marketing. And it used to say agent resource specialist. So I have reviews from clients and I have reviews from agents who are my clients. So if you're a home buyer and you go to my reviews and you see I have, gosh, I don't know, like 11 reviews, that's awesome. If you read the reviews, though, you're going to see that they're not all just buyers and sellers. So I think sometimes people feel like, you know, they don't want to go to your reviews and see that your mom reviewed you unless you bought or sold a house with your mom. Like they want to see that actual clients were the ones that wrote these reviews. And so with Zillow, they verify whether they bought or sold a home with you. And so I think Zillow is a pretty trustworthy source. After that, you know, if you're like a Redfin partner, like, you know, TJ Tuttle or Devin Clapp, it's smart to direct your business in that way. So it's important to ask for Redfin reviews, etc. After that, you could ask for Facebook reviews. Facebook doesn't really prioritize reviews. So even if you have like 10 5-star reviews, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to show up faster in search results. The people that are going to show up are the people that are doing paid advertisements. So I have the request for people to write me a Facebook review here. It's just not something I really prioritize. Another one that you could ask for is Yelp. I hate Yelp. Yelp has been they just are so expensive and their customer service sucks. And I, honest to goodness, believe that it is in their benefit to have people write you negative reviews, even if they're not real. Like, so we got on our business page for Yelp, we have 2 bad reviews. One of them, I mean, they're not bad. One of them wasn't really earned. The other one's just full on false. And so I called Yelp to try and get it removed. And they said they couldn't do anything, but what they could do was they could run paid advertisements for me to try and get more Yelp reviews. And that way, if I had a bad one and then I had 3 good ones, they would average out. And it's just, they're super shady. I just don't believe in Yelp, but it's up to you. You get to run your business however you want. So if you'd like to get a Yelp account set up, Rachel and I can help you with that as well. So after that, I just, you know, after I've changed this template, drop it in an email, send it to my client, and then it kind of depends on their timeline. So a week to 2 weeks after closing, and like I said, timing is everything in this business. So for example, my last closing, my client was a teacher. And so even though she moved into the house a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, I'm not going to ask her for a review until after school is out, because I know she's got a ton on her plate, especially catching up with COVID stuff. And it's just, it doesn't feel fair to ask for her time and attention. And I know that she wants to give me a good review. So school's out at the end of next week, I believe. So I can reach out to her then and maybe catch up and grab like a coffee or something, ask her for the review, and she'll write me an amazing one. If it has been longer than that, or if you have a client that ended up not closing with you. So for example, I have a few first-time home buyers that I've poured hours of work into, and the market is just not accepting FHA in their price range. We're just getting outbid. And so they are temporarily not searching for a home. They're just taking a break because it's not me. It's honestly, it's the market. So I asked them if they could write a review for me, and they did. And then it's sort of my policy that when they do, I send them a gift card somewhere as a thank you for writing the review. An important thing to note about that is that the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, you cannot incentivize someone that is not a real estate agent that you're going to pay them at closing. So the key is to tell them, you know, like, I can send you like a thank you, or like it would mean so much to me, and then ask them for the review and then send them something. And then that sort of word of mouth can benefit you. And then, you know, if you send them a Starbucks gift card, they go get coffee, they're going to think of you. You can check in with them in a few months. They're going to still remember that nice warm touch that you guys last had. So that's sort of how I feel about it. And then finally, I don't have that many clients, but I also, you know, am just really getting started. So I was thinking that, you know, this time next summer, I'll have a year and a half's worth of clients. I would love to have like a barbecue at my house, like a client appreciation party, and I could have a videographer there, and I could ask my clients before they come if they'd be comfortable, you know, leaving me a video testimonial, and, you know, we'll have like food and drinks and what have you. And then if they come, you know, I could have that recorded there when they're feeling good and everything's happy. And if they decide not to come, it's no pressure to them at all. So yeah, that's my quick little spiel. And now I'm going to hand it over to Rachel, who is going to talk about Rate My Agent.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to share my screen really quick with you. Oh, Robyn, can you give me permission, please? Oh, perfect. Got it. Okay. Okay, so right now I am we can all see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So right now I'm just sitting in the one login, and all you have to do is scroll down to when you find Rate My Agent, which is this little chat bubble looking one right here. If you have never used Rate My Agent before, I think you really should. It's gonna create specific little, I don't even know how to say this, like basically little website pages for each verified review that you get, which really boosts your SEO on Google. It makes you a lot easier to find. And it, like Robyn was saying earlier, it can pull reviews from Google, and it can also post reviews to your Google pages, your Facebook pages, Instagram, and I think Real Satisfied is the other one. So when you first come in to Rate My Agent, you want to click on this activate your free profile, which sounds kind of scammy, but it is free. And it's going to take you to this page where you are going to search for your name. So if you don't have a Rate My Agent profile, this is what you're going to want to do to set it up. I'm just trying to think. I know Mariah doesn't have one set up. So if you type in your name, you should pop up. If you don't pop up, it's probably because you don't have an active listing in the NWMLS. If you do have an active listing and you're not popping up, just reach out to me and I will help you figure out why. But as you can see, because Mariah does not have a claimed profile, all you would do to claim this profile would click the claim profile button. And then you just kind of follow the really simple steps to set it up, which is just, you know, following, like setting up an account login, username and password, and just a couple of other things. Super simple. And then after that, you're going to be taken to this dashboard here. This is the home page. I'm using Robyn's because, like I said before, you need an active listing, and I'm not a real estate agent, so I don't get one of these. So I'm just going to kind of go down the list here and just kind of go one at a time and just show you guys how to use Rate My Agent. It's really simple, super user friendly. So it should be pretty quick, but if you guys have questions, please stop me. Okay, so I'm just going to edit my profile on the left-hand side, and I'm just going to show you guys what you can do here. So as you can see, Robyn's uploaded a couple of things here, like her picture, her information, and her cover photos here. You can edit this as you want. It's pretty much just like any other program. You just click that update and just follow the steps. Contact details, you want to put in all of your information here, including website. The only thing that it's going to require you to put in is your email, but I would suggest doing all of it, including your bio, just because it does benefit you in the long run, I think. Under licenses, I would also suggest putting your license number, just so people can, you know, look you up and know that you are a real estate agent. Under My Market, this is really neat because it's actually going to direct your, like, it's going to see that you work in certain areas right under zip codes, and it's going to direct, it's going to benefit your SEO. So it's going to direct your profile to like the areas you're working in, if that makes sense. So you're not going to get reviews randomly from like Texas or something. It's going to be within your area always, and it's going to know where to find them. And you also are going to, you can put up to 20 zip codes, which just got updated from like, I want to say 5. So you can put in a ton now, which is really nice.
So what I did to grab all those zip codes handy, I just went to Google and looked up Tacoma zip codes and then copied and pasted them in there.
Yeah, it's super simple, and you can delete them and replace them at any point. Social media. So this is just where you put your social media information so that people can visit your accounts from Rate My Agent. Okay, so if you wanted to put that in there, you can do that as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the edit profile. Now I'm going to go to properties. Okay, so like I said, Rate My Agent pulls properties directly from the NWMLS. So you should never really see a missing property, but there is ways to get around it if you do. So like, let's say if you go to your confirmed properties, these are the ones that we've decided, yes, these are real. Forget this one. I added that for Robyn because I was playing with it, but
I wish I could get our office for 65 grand.
Yeah, I was just playing with it. I'm like, you can't put 0, you have to put specific information, but just ignore that one. But these are the actual properties that Robyn has had a transaction in, either a buyer or seller. Okay, so it should pull directly. If you don't see your property on here, all you have to do is come up to the top and hit that add property button. It's going to ask you to search for the address. It's really simple, you guys. You can go through and you just type in the address, and then it just directs you. Each page is, okay, how many bedrooms, how much did you sell it for, what date was it listed, you know, really simple. And then it will automatically go into your confirmed because you yourself confirmed it, right? Yeah, so there's nothing really. Oh, and you can also do active listings. So if you have any active listings, you can see those. But most of the time we don't really want to get reviews until after they're sold anyway. Yeah, I think that was it for the properties tab. Okay, so now I'm going to be under reviews tab. So this is where Rate My Agent really is like, this is what it's for, is getting your reviews onto multiple platforms with just one simple, easy, you know, step-by-step process. Okay, so let's say I want to get reviews. I'm under this request tab. I want to get reviews from this address. All I have to do is hit get reviews, and I'm going to just either select a client, or I'm just going to type in the client's name and email address. You don't have to type in their cell phone number if you don't want to. And then you select if they're the seller or buyer. Okay, And then you're just going to go down and you can either type your own personal message. So like, hey, thanks for reviewing me, or thanks for, okay. Or you can say, I want to select a template for requesting new reviews, and then you can kind of edit it as you see fit, or you can upload an existing review, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Okay. So that's pretty simple. You can also manage your templates and create your own. So if you don't want to be copying and pasting all the time, you can create your own personal template, and that way you can just select that one every time you send out a review. Okay. You can also see your pending reviews. So these are ones that you've already requested that have been sent out, but they're not, that you haven't actually gotten them verified yet. And then you can also see your completed reviews. Over here, this is your Google Review Manager. So the first thing you're going to have to do is set it up, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a second. But once you set it up, it should pull your Google reviews directly onto your Rate My Agent. So if you set it up so that your Rate My Agent and your Google business page link, they should not, Rate My Agent will pull from Google, but Google will also pull from Rate My Agent. So it's kind of, you get both and you only have to post it once. So that's kind of nice. And that really benefits your SEO. Let's see. Okay, so under this request tab, I realized I kind of forgot to show you. If you have an existing review that is not, it's not pulling for whatever reason, or you haven't set this up yet, but you want it to be on your Rate My Agent profile, you just come back to the request tab and you, instead of clicking this request new review, you click post existing review. Then you just go to whatever page that your review is on, just copy it, paste it into this section here. And just the best way that they explained this to do this to me was you post the review and you just find one standout line. You don't need to type a new heading or anything. Just find when they say, oh, she's the greatest real estate agent ever, put that as your heading, because it's not really going to do that much for you. It's just going to be that's what's going to pop up in big bold letters, right? And then you're going to select your review from your seller or buyer and the review date. You can select verify now or verify later. So let's say you have a review, but like Robyn was saying, let's say the teacher that she just sold a house to has already written a review, but she probably doesn't have time to verify it until after school is out. Well, we can post her review on Rate My Agent and just click verify later. And so the review is still going to pop up, but it's not going to be connected or verified, and it's not going to be connected to an individual web page. Okay, and I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like later when I'm talking about when each review is going to be linked to a specific transaction. Now, if you want to verify now, again, client name, email address, a little message to them, and you're going to post review and send the verification to them. Okay. Okay, so under link reviews, so this is going to be a little hard because I'm not set up. Robyn isn't set up on anything yet, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it just really quick as much as I can. So
I actually, Rachel, something I want to throw out there. So this isn't actually going to work for me because my Realty One Group account is actually under my ROG Turnkey. And then everything I do for my business is Robyn Rodriguez Real Estate at gmail.com. But typically they would all be connected, right? So just make sure that when you're setting this up, you're using the same email for everything.
Yeah. Okay. So on this, when I clicked on the link reviews, this is basically how to set up your automatic posts. And I'm just going to kind of get into that a little bit later. But this is how you're going to go through and set up the post so that your reviews will actually get posted one at a time as they come in. Those good reviews will be posted onto your business page on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or another one. And I have to remember what it is. So that's that link reviews tab. That is a new feature, just so you guys know.
It's been verified, right?
Yeah, it has to have been verified.
No, the
There's a
website you're talking about is beenverified.com.
yes. Okay. So let's see. Moving on to promoter. Promoter is kind of cool, but I believe it is an extra. Yeah, at one point or another, it becomes an extra cost. Let me look here. So on promoter, it's yeah, the whole thing is an extra cost to you guys. But it is kind of neat, so I figured I'd touch on it really quick. So basically what promoter does is it's going to create targeted digital advertisements that are based on your reviews. So you can see a couple of examples here. This is what it would look like on Facebook. It's an advertisement, right? It's not so that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the advertisement. And you can do this on Google, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. You will be able to choose which review you want to be advertised. All you would have to do, again, Robyn doesn't have any verified reviews yet, but once you have a verified review, you go to the review, you click promote, and there will be a couple of template options for you to choose from, and then you get to select the ad duration and the reach that it has, and that's where you get the cost goes up. The more people you want to reach, the longer you want the ad to run, the more cost it's going to be to you. Waiting for everything to load. Okay. On to widgets. So I'm just going to show you guys just this little video that they have here for their widgets. Yeah, I'll just start it now. Let me know if you guys can't hear it.
Can't actually hear it, my dear.
How do I make it?
So at the bottom where it says share screen and advanced sharing options, I think that's where you click can hear my sounds as well.
Let me see. It's not like that exciting. Oh, there we go. Share sound. Okay, let's start that.
It's hard enough to get potential clients to your website, let alone provide enough content to keep them engaged. 87% of consumers now trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations, so positive reviews are a key ingredient to a successful real estate website. Rate My Agent's review widgets are a simple way to provide live feeds of your positive reviews from Rate My Agent to your website. With our easy-to-follow wizard, you can be up and running in a matter of minutes. Best of all, you can customize the look and feel of the design to fit into your existing website. Choose which reviews get published to your live review feed via the Rate My Agent dashboard. Sellers and buyers will be able to clearly identify that the reviews have been provided and verified by an independent source, which will give your reviews greater credibility. Now you can maximize your website's engagement and conversions by providing real-time, dynamic reviews generated by your past sellers and buyers.
Okay, so that's basically what the widget does. All you're going to have to do is embed that code into your website, and it's going to pop up just like it does with we did a video a couple Tech Tuesdays ago, and Robyn talked about adding the Facebook Messenger to your website. It's basically going to be the same little pop-up, but it's going to be your reviews, and it's going to update automatically. You only have to embed the code once. All you have to do is go to your setup widget. You're going to copy that code and put it in your website. However, you do get to pick which reviews are visible on your website. So if you get, let's say you get a 4-star review that you don't want it to be shown, you just want the 5 stars, all you have to do is go to the widget and you'll be able to just set it up from your website. So it should be pretty simple for you guys. If you have any questions about that, just reach out to Robyn or myself, and we're more than happy to help you guys with that. Okay, so under social media, this is not where people can find your social media, but this is actually how you're going to connect your accounts so that Rate My Agent can post to your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google My Business. For Google, oh, I'm sorry, this one specifically is for scheduling posts to go out automatically. So this is creating posts, kind of like how Promoter creates advertisements for you, but this is going to create posts for your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter accounts, and then it will automatically post them however often you want. you have to start by connecting one, and then you would schedule over here. One thing that they did mention is that when you are connecting an account, there's a little checkbox that's underneath that you're going to want to make sure is checked, because that's just basically going to say allow posting from Rate My Agent, right? So make sure that checkbox is checked. But then you just kind of schedule it, and it will post your reviews as they come in, but it will only post one at a time. So if you get 5 reviews in one day, you're only going to see 1 posted. Does that make sense? Okay. And then linked accounts is over here, and this is where you'll connect, and this is where it will pull from to get your Rate My Agent reviews onto your Google My Business, your Facebook, your Real Satisfied, and vice versa. So you can see that Facebook, you need to pay a little extra to get Facebook access so that it will post on Facebook. But honestly, I think the most important one is the Google My Business, and you might want to use Zillow as well. But for Google My Business, so what this is going to do for you is it's not only going to post to Rate My Agent, but also Google. And when someone posts to Google, it should pull to Rate My Agent. If Rate My Agent is pulling a review from another spot that you have not gone into the reviews tab and set up yourself, it is only going to come in as an unverified review that is not connected to a listing. So because it's not connected to a listing, it's not going to create that individual page, and it's not going to create, it's not going to give you a better search engine optimization. You're not going to pop up more on people's reviews tabs unless you go through the steps to verify the review, which is what we did when we were in the reviews tab. You can take those reviews and just simply go back to your reviews tab, copy them, and do the same thing that we did earlier, where it's post an existing review, and you can, again, always add properties so that you can connect. So you still can create that web page. I'm just letting you know that when it pulls from another spot, it's not going to do that automatically for you. So for this, I would definitely set this up just so that you can, when you share your Rate My Agent profile with your clients, they can post, and if they post to Rate My Agent, it will ask them, do you want to also post this review on X site? And they can say yes or no. So you can get 2 reviews for the price of 1, which is great. Also, something to know about Rate My Agent, it does not require your clients to set up an account. It does. It's really simple. They don't have to do anything. So it's not like a hassle. It's not, we're bashing on Yelp anyway. It's not like Yelp where you have to go and set up an account to post a review. They can post the review totally fine. Something to know when you are linking pages though is you have to obviously have the Google My Business page. And if you're looking for Facebook stuff, they have to have a Google My Business page, your client does, and they have to have a Facebook page in order for them to post on those platforms. Does that make sense? I think. Okay. Okay, and the last thing in here is this listing report. Down here you can see templates, and there's some training videos, but I'm not really going to go into that. A listing report, you do have to upgrade to get access. I just thought I would touch on it really quick. We do have something really similar available in OneSuite. So this isn't like super important, but if you were interested in it, you can go ahead. I'm just letting you know that it is available here through Rate My Agent as well. Let me just check my notes and make sure I didn't miss anything.
While Rachel's checking her notes, you guys, something that Rachel and I both are happy to do is create social media posts, including stories, if you'd like, with those reviews on them. You know, like if you don't want to pay to have your review sent via Rate My Agent, like if it's sent by Rate My Agent, it'll show that it's verified. Whereas if we make a post review for you, if someone looked it up, they'd find it's verified, but obviously what you're paying for is not just the syndication, it's the SEO benefit and them scheduling the post for you. So if you're willing to take it into your own hands, which is something I like to do, we can help you out with that. And Rachel, when you're done, I'll show you an example of that.
Okay, let me just touch on one more thing and then I'll be all done. The other thing here is if you have, so these are her, back to Robyn's confirmed properties that she's looking for reviews on. If you go to the properties tab and you go under your confirmed, you can actually edit these as well. So let's say, you know, you typed in the sold price wrong, or you need to edit the image. I actually pulled this image for Robyn already because I'm just like that. So if you go and you just upload the image, sorry, I have to find it first. She's in here. There she is. Okay. So this is what's going to make your, oh, maybe it doesn't like that. Oh, of course. No, it's just Zoom making my computer slow again. So if you go in here, it's going to have like a nice picture. It's going to have, I can't really show you guys what it would look like unless you have a verified review, but once it's verified, it's actually really pretty. And I'm going to send you guys out a video, just a little bit about Rate My Agent. And that way you guys can see what it actually will look like, because I can't show you myself. Let's see if this works, but they do look really pretty. And then once you click on them, they're gorgeous. They create their own little web page. I really would suggest that you guys use this if you're not already, but yeah, I think that's all I had. Do you need me to stop sharing, Robyn?
Yeah, so this is going to be more oriented towards like Jada, because obviously, Wilson, I know you're not crazy about the social, but I realized I hadn't posted any of my reviews really on my business page. I had, I think maybe I had one, maybe not. Yep. So I've got them posted on here. A couple of them. This is the little template that I made in Canva that I use. But to make them a little bit more evergreen, I posted them as stories, and then I pinned them to the front page of my Instagram. So you can do this as a featured story on Facebook. I've got them as my featured story on Instagram. It's just a way for me to boost my search engine optimization. It's, like I said, Rachel and I are happy to help you guys with it. Super quick, super easy. Another thing I wanted to mention about reviews that is super, super important. Whenever you get a review, make sure to respond to it. I know sometimes if you got like a 4-star review instead of a 5-star review and you're not sure why, or, you know, let's say you got a 2-star review out of 5 and you're like, what? I thought everything was fine. Try to not get your feelings hurt. You know, try to reach out to your client and see if you can resolve the miscommunication or why that happened. And if for some reason you can't, you know, just make sure to respond in a way that is graceful. I know that sounds apparent, but like, you're not replying to the review to be responding to the person that wrote the review. You're replying to the review so people in the future can go back and see what you're talking about and what you're about. So if it's a good review, you know, make sure to drop keywords in there like, thank you so much, so-and-so, for helping me, you know, entrusting me to help you find your first home in Tacoma or something. Like, obviously your buyers know that they bought a house in Tacoma, but for the sake of your SEO and for future clients, just dropping hints like that, I think, can help. So I think that is everything. I know Rachel and I just kind of talked your guys' ear off. Do you guys have any questions?
Do you want me to really quick touch on the changes of OneSuite?
I think we can do that another day.
That's fine. If you guys have any questions about Rate My Agent, just feel free to reach out to me. And like I said, I'm going to include in the recap email a video from the Rate My Agent team, and hopefully that will kind of show you what I'm talking about a little bit when it creates the personal web page for you.
All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for attending. Follow up with Rachel and I if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.